p.m. Myself, Brian McGinnis, the chair, Nicole Shimoni, and Brian Travis. Are there any comments, suggestions, petitions by residents in attendance regarding any items not on the agenda?
Very briefly, Mr. McGinnis,
Yes, sir.
and only because I attended a Civil Service Commission meeting this morning or this afternoon, I'm sorry. I'll have something formal on your agenda for next month's meeting, but the commission anticipates going over their budget significantly by about $8,000 or $10,000 due to promotions and new hiring, nothing out of the ordinary. But at next month's meeting, I'll have a breakdown of exactly where that's at and hopefully a plan to get through. But in the interest of full disclosure, I wanted to let you know that today, since I just learned today, really.
Perfect. Thank you, Chief. Let's look at discussion items, the pension plan investment policy.
So just to refresh everyone's memory, the council wanted to see some options from our pension plan advisors that moved more of the investments towards no load or low fee investment vehicles. We don't have those scenarios in our hand right now yet. And the first quarter review pension committee meeting has been set back to June 3rd. So they want to invite members of the Finance and Revenue Committee to attend that meeting at 3:00 on a Monday on June 3rd. And I will continue to press to see if I can get some of these recommendations in your hands before then. So I see no reason why we can't concurrently review these things, both the Pension Committee and the Finance and Revenue Committee, because what I understand, these aren't very difficult things to come up with, as I understand it. So I will keep working on that. So I would suggest we table this item to May, and hopefully I'll have something sooner to send you all.
Thank you. All right, Sean. Item B, the ARPA update. Barb, thank you.
Hi, good evening. I just wanted to present a first quarter update on the ARPA cash that remains in the account as of this point in time. As of March 31st, we had $444,996 left in the account. We have allocated projects that are still in process of $172,119. This leaves us with a balance of $272,877 that needs to be allocated by the end of this year and spent by 2026.
Thank you. Any questions regarding the ARPA update on the dais? Any public comment?
I just think it's good news too. What it's saying is we have a little bit more money we can allocate. So appreciate that.
That is good news. Item C, the March 2024 financial statement.
All right, we'll start with page 2 of the report. For the month of March, we started the month with $19,967,198 in cash. We brought in $1,814,629. We spent or transferred between funds $827,179. This leaves us with an ending cash balance of $20,954,648. Of that amount, $9,311,692 is for restricted purposes among ARPA, the Capital Operating Reserve, and the EIT 0.25 pension account. Looking at the highlights for the month ended March 31st, 2024, line items should have about 75% of their budgets remaining at this point in time. On the revenue side, EIT, real estate taxes, and parking revenue are all meeting their targets at this point in time. On the expense side, we do have 2 line items that are over budget. The capital expense line item in the administration fund is $84,422 over budget. This will be better explained in the purchasing approval, which is on the agenda for this evening. And the other line item that is over budget at this time is the legal other, which is $42,000 over budget. For the quarter that just ended, we did make 2 transfers to both of the pension plans. We transferred $100,000 to pay down the MMO balance into the non-union plan. This leaves us with a balance of $372,557 on that plan. And we transferred $500,000 into the police pension. This leaves the MMO balance at this point in time at 1,264,206. And that money came directly from the EIT 0.25 that is earmarked directly to pay down this MMO. Looking at some of the highlights for April, we are expecting our liquid fuels allocation. That should come in by May. The field work for our 2023 audit is expected to start on April 22nd. Our general ledger and our trial balance has been submitted to the auditors. We are still waiting on the 12/31 pension financial statements from the actuary, as well as the 2023 OPEB report, which will be big factors in getting our audited financial statements out the door and for your review. And then just as a highlight, I'm not sure if the committee is aware, but we did process our first payroll today through Paylocity, which went relatively well. So that's a big win for the department.
Barb, how much in liquid fuels are we going to be receiving?
We generally receive around $450,000, which will all be earmarked for the road paving project.
Thank you. Regarding the financials, the statement that we're discussing now, where are we at on track? I don't see it here, but or maybe I'm missing it. The EIT as well as revenue from the transfer of property tax.
So EIT is meeting revenue at this point in time. If you want to look over, let me get to the page. So if you go to page 11, please, Jeff, you'll see earned income, which is GL 31090. We've collected a little over 1.6 million for the year, and that's at 74%. So we're doing very well there. Deed transfer, we've collected $104,285. The line item is at about 82%, which is a little underperforming, but better than we were last year.
Any headwinds we're looking at in these budgetary items?
I think that we're doing well. I mean, I think one of the big wins that we had was collecting taxes in-house, which, as I've said last month, has helped tremendously with cash flow. It gives us the ability to, go ahead and fund projects and not have to worry about, I'm always hesitant to have to come before council and ask for a loan. So I think that was a very big win for us. The only possible thing that I may see that might not come in is deed transfer. And again, it's all based on,
market.
home sales, but
Right.
I can say that we are seeing more certifications coming in for processing. So I am hopeful for that line item.
And then parking, are we on track with parking revenue?
Yeah, parking revenue is all meeting targets.
Great. Thank you very much. Any questions on the dais for Barb?
Just one question.
Sure.
And it's regarding the muni billing. There's still an alert on the homepage for the borough that still is indicating that there's an issue with billing. Is that still?
Yeah,
the case?
so a little background on what had happened there. So when we received the data from the county, the way that data was imported into our billing system, when you look at the bill, you're not able to go online to make a payment unless you put in a specific field. So if my name is Barbara A. Leonti and my house is registered with my husband, Philip Leonti, based on the way that the data came over from the county, I would have to put Barbara A. Leonti Philip J. because it's the way it came in through that second field. We put the alert on the website just because we have been getting a lot of customer service issues, and we have worked very diligently with phone calls that we are receiving, and we've been able to help the majority of the people that were having issues. So it's still there just as kind of, an alert that if you're having a problem, we're aware of it and we're trying to provide help for that.
So that you were using like a bill payer to assist us with the collection?
No, we have our own accounts
Okay.
receivable program that the bills went out through and that we're collecting, we're posting payments to, and then we contract with their processor for e-checks and credit card payments.
I guess my question is, where is the issue? Is it here or is it with the processor?
So the issue is with the way that the data was imported. You can't put in your name in a logical way. It's because the way the data came through, it's not coming through as first name, last name, because we kept the data intact from the county so that there would be no changes in how the information was received. So it's a little difficult for a property owner to not be able to put in, your first and last name. It has to be all of the nomenclature that goes with it. And that's kind of been a big bug with getting people to be able to use the system.
Okay, I appreciate that. Is there a fix or is there a way to get around it or so it doesn't keep recurring?
So
I know I'm sure you're already thinking about it, but yeah.
we did have a fix that our data engineer in the administration department, that he put together a program that we're able to use. We just need to get that linked up with the muni billing site to make it a little easier for property owners to be able to put that information in there.
Can I ask does the name match how the name goes out on the bill, or is it totally different?
No, well, when you look at your property bill, it's dependent on the way that the deed is written. So if you have, yourself and your spouse, you can't just put in your first and last name. It has to be the whole, if your name is Barbara A. Leonti, like you would have to put in all of that into that field to be able to get your last name to come up. And it's just unfortunately the way, the data was imported. I wish that, we had a better fix for it, but being the first year, I think we'll have a better grasp and a better understanding to fix that going forward.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just in case we get questions from our neighbors,
Yeah, I
about
know.
the
It's been a
system and-
major issue,
Yeah.
and we are working through it. Trust me, we get many, many, many emails and phone calls, and we're doing our best. We're trying to offer solutions. If people are trying to pay online and they can't, or they can't use their credit card, I have offered to, for them to come in. We won't charge them a fee to run the card. I mean, Dana has been wonderful with helping me work through these issues. So we're very well aware.
All right. Thank you for the update there.
Thank you. Any public comment? Right, seeing none, let's go to the action items here. These are purchasing approval. Item 1, $12,540, USAL
So this is for phosphorus removal at the wastewater plants. This is a budgeted expense, and it is being purchased through a contract that was approved last month that runs through March 31st, 2025.
Thank you. Any objections? Any comments? Any public comment? Let's move to item 2, $75,307.27 to Miller Brothers, Inc.
So this is to pay the final 2 invoices to Miller Brothers, which was the contractor for the Green Lake Go project. This project is grant related and has spanned multiple years. Miller Brothers, the original contract was approved by Borough Council on December 15th, 2021, in the amount of $508,000, $839.38. There was a PO that was approved on May 12th, 2023 for that amount. There have been subsequent change orders that were processed on this project that pushed the total cost up to $600,339.27. The original PO was never updated for the new project cost. We received these two invoices a couple weeks ago for processing. The total is $75,000, and the invoices are dated October 12th, 2023 and November 30th, 2023. The issue with this, not issue, but what I wanted to clarify is that at last month or in February at the council cycle meeting, we asked council's authority to use 2023 year-ending cash of $24,000 to fund the remaining invoices that were due on this project. However, we asked that net of grant revenue, which is not always best practice. Best practice would be when we budget, we should budget grant revenue and then any expenses that would offset that grant award. You know, regardless of whether that grant is reimbursable or not, we should be budgeting total revenue and total expenses for the project. So the request tonight is to modify the capital expense budget by $51,302.27 using 2023 year-end cash to pay these two invoices and close out the project.
Is there any objection to that?
I just want to make sure I'm clear. So you asked us last time for you said
$24,000.
but you were assuming that you were going to use this grant money already in the ask. And so you're just coming back and asking for more because you want to take that assumption out. Yes, we have the
Yeah, I
grant
want to
money.
take the assumption that the grant, I mean, obviously it's going to come in, but to account for it properly, we should have the revenue and the offsetting expense.
When is the grant money supposed to come in?
The grant money will come in after we pay these invoices and then submit them for reimbursement. So that could be 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
I don't have any questions.
Any further?
Yeah, we're sure the grant money comes in, or is it like a potential it doesn't?
So it
come in?
will come in.
Okay.
Any objections? Any public comment? All right, we can move that 3-0 as well as item 1, 3-0. Item number 3, $13,155.25 to Univar.
This is for soda ash at the wastewater plant. It is through a contract that was signed last month and runs through March 2025, and it is a budgeted expense.
Thank you. Any questions about this item on the dais? Any public? Any objections? All right, we could call that a 3-0 for item number 3. Let's move to action item B, sale of a police vehicle. Chief Lee.
Just asking council's approval to sell an asset, which is a police vehicle. It's about 10 years old, and we'd hope to get low end 2,000, amazing high end, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 out of the vehicle.
Thank you. Any questions for the chief? Any objections? Any public comment? All right, we're good with item B, sale of a police vehicle. Item C, appoint the following delegates to the Chester County Tax Collection Committee. Never thought I'd be on this committee in my life, but I guess I am. Number 1, Sean Metrick, who is the primary voting delegate. 2, Barb Leonti, the first alternate voting delegate. 3, myself, Brian McGinnis, the second alternate voting delegate. Are there any objections to those nominees?
I just am curious, what does the Chester County Tax Collection Committee do?
I just wanted to provide a little background. So this has come through because of Act 32, which is effective July 2nd, 2018. And this act authorizes governing bodies to levy taxes, and it also provides authority for those governing bodies to appoint agencies to collect those taxes on their behalf. And back in 2008, the CCTCC, which is the Chester County Tax Collection Committee, was formed, and they collect earned income on behalf of the county and, of course, on behalf of the borough. This act requires that each governing body elects 1 voting delegate and 1 or more alternates. And this is a resolution that is done every year.
Thank you, Barb, for the explanation. Any further questions? Any objections? Any public comment? Seeing none, we could call that approval there for 1, 2, and 3 under C. Item D, motion to approve the 2024 Finance Committee meeting minutes. Any questions on the dais? Public comment? Any objections? We could call that approved. 5, other business. Seeing none, the meeting has adjourned. 8:17.